welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host, Uzma Jafri. Let's begin with the headlines first. Grand Dog Show in Nepal's Lalitpur city draws a huge range of dog breeds. 9th edition of the International Radio Fair held in Bhubaneswar city of Odisha. People continue to bear the brunt of price rise in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Let's begin the show. Nepal recently hosted the 13th edition of Grand Dog Show in Lalitpur city. A large number of different breeds of dogs participated in the event, attracting people from across the region. Started in 2005, the event has garnered huge praise from the animal lovers and it has become a kind of an annual festival in Nepal. Let's have a look.
Varieties of dog breeds kept by families gathered in an open ground of Jwalakhel in Lalitpur district of Nepal as they took part in the 13th edition of the Grand Dog Show. This year, around 3 dozen dogs participated in the dog show. Different breeds of dogs ranging from exotic breeds like Dachshund, Husky and German Shepherd to Labrador Retriever participated in the event. The Kathmandu Valley hosts a multitude of community dogs inhabiting the streets and squares. The ground next to the central zoo also echoed with varieties of whoops and barks as people thronged the space with leashes.
डग चाहिँ तपाईको ब्रिड स्ट्यान्डर्ड अनुसार यसमा जजमेन्ट हुन्छ अनि अर्को चाहिँ तपाईको यसमा चाहिँ अब हाम्रो पपीहरुको छुट्टै तपाईको यसमा कम्पिटिसन हुन्छ अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ एभ्री डगको ब्रिड अनुसार भिन्न-भिन्न जातको भिन्न-भिन्न जातमा चाहिँ भिन्न-भिन्न कम्पिटिसन हुन्छ लास्टमा चाहिँ तपाईको चाहिँ नि त्यो सबै चाहिँ नि जुन फर्स्ट भएको छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले ग्रुपिजन गरेर ग्रुपमा लगेर चाहिँ लास्टमा बेस्टिङ शो गरेर त्यही लास्टमा त्यही विजेता हुन्छ.
The dog show in Nepal started from 2005 when 4 friends came together with the concept and launched the event. It slowly and gradually attracted more and more dog lovers and caretakers, with the show being termed a grand one.
हाम्रो घरमा पालेको डग्सहरु चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने हामी खासै अरु पेट्सहरुसँग घुलमिल गराउँदैनौं नि त. अब जस्तो यस्तो इभेन्ट्सहरुमा आयो भने चाहिँ उनीहरुले अरु आफ्नो टाइपको देख्छन्. हाम्रो घरतिरको त हामी बाहिर लान डराउँछौं नि त. अब यहाँ त सबै आफ्नै टाइपको हुन्छ, सबैजना यिनीहरु घुलमिल हुन्छ, रमाउँछन्, नयाँ अनुभव गर्छन्, त्यही हो.
Dogs are always regarded as faithful friends of humans, and petting dogs is believed to have more health and psychological benefits than security benefits ages ago. The practical purpose of petting dogs might have changed since humans first adopted wild wolves in Siberia about 23,000 years ago. But research shows humans have a long evolutionary history with dogs.
Moving on. Afghanistan continues to remain in a state of general lawlessness, instability and remains rampant with human rights abuses as a result of the Taliban's brutal rule. Afghans have been forced to flee the country. However, for many lucky to have escaped and received asylum on foreign soil, challenges persist. From mistreatment to forceful deportation, Afghan migrants continue to face many obstacles and limitations.
Afghanistan continues to remain in a state of general lawlessness, instability, and remains rampant with human rights abuses as a result of the Taliban's brutal rule. Afghans have been forced to flee the country. However, for many lucky to have escaped and received asylum on foreign soil, challenges persist. From mistreatment to forceful deportation, Afghan migrants continue to face many obstacles and limitations. This is Obaida Sharar, a former Afghan prosecutor. She obtained asylum in Spain after leaving her homeland when the Taliban took control of Kabul. Prior to being granted asylum, Obaida spent a year in Pakistan without any official refugee status. Former Afghan prosecutors like Obaida are attempting to evade the men they had been prosecuting in the war-torn country. Living in Madrid, Obaida feels much safer in her new life, but is still troubled by the struggles the women of her country continue to face on a daily basis.
I can do anything that I want, but there are lots of women remain in Afghanistan, and they are sentenced to be inside their houses, inside the walls, and this is not still I cannot enjoy from my life because the women in my country, they are not free, they cannot do anything.
Female lawyers are no longer permitted inside the Ministry of Justice since the Taliban took control of the Independent Bar Association. The association remains only open to men. While Obaida is a very lucky example, many others who have escaped Afghanistan to other underdeveloped nations face mounting struggles. According to Human Rights Watch, many refugees from Afghanistan are being forcibly pushed back from some of the countries they initially had escaped to. Pakistan and Turkey, for example, have forcibly deported a large number of Afghan migrants back to Afghanistan. Thousands of Afghan asylum seekers lack the necessary travel permits and documents that are typically required. Despite lacking requisite documentation, many have still fled, endangering their lives in the process, all in hope of a better future. According to U.S. government data, the number of Afghans seeking asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border has increased manifold. The data shows that U.S. border agents apprehended 2,132 Afghans last year, a nearly 30-fold increase from the previous year. Every month, hundreds of people risk traveling a human smuggling route known for kidnapping and robbery. If that part of the journey is successful, it is still uncertain whether Afghans will be able to find long-term asylum in the United States.
There was fence, and there were the people and put the ladder in the fence. So we climbed on the ladder and came to the land of the US, and between the two walls, between the two faces.
Afghans face a terrible choice: risk their lives fleeing their homes, or stay behind and continue to face persecution and human rights violations at the hands of the Taliban. Afghanistan has also been struggling with food insecurity and natural disasters. The Taliban's ban on women aid workers further intensified this crisis.
Programs cannot reach women and cannot understand the situation of women and girls without employing women. So men-only programming is not merely a subjugation of women, but it's also inadequate programming. It doesn't work. It's simple as that.
Under the Taliban, Afghanistan is experiencing one of the worst humanitarian crises in the world, and humanitarian assistance is urgently needed. India is one country who pledged to provide assistance of approximately 24 million USD for Afghanistan. However, significantly more is needed to help those Afghans struggling in their homeland, and for those Afghans who have fled their homeland for the chance at a better life.
And now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in our segment called Asia Watch.
Amazon's self-driving vehicle unit Zoox has successfully tested a robo-taxi with employees as passengers on a public road in a move to bring it closer to commercial service for the general public. The February 11 test conducted between two Zoox buildings, a mile apart at its headquarters in Foster City, California, was part of the launch of a no-cost employee shuttle service that will also help the company refine its technology. Evans declined to provide a timeline for the commercial launch, which will need additional government clearances. Companies still pursuing development of this technology include General Motors Cruise Unit and Alphabet's Waymo. Zook's robotaxi, built as a fully autonomous vehicle from scratch rather than retrofitting existing cars for self-driving, comes without a steering wheel or pedals and has room for 4 passengers with 2 facing each other. Iraqi volunteer Mohammad al-Battat stands next to a truck calling on residents of a neighborhood in Basra to donate to Syrian people following a powerful quake that hit the country last week. Many have positively responded to the initiative, which was launched by the committee of Al-Imam al-Abbas, donating a wide range of items including foodstuff, blankets and carpets. Some people rushed to donate their personal belongings. So far, the campaign brought together a total of 15 tons of foodstuff in addition to new and used furniture pieces, which will be all transported to Syria. The combined death toll in Turkey and Syria has climbed to more than 41,000, and millions are in need of humanitarian aid, with many survivors having been left homeless in near freezing winter temperatures. Hokkaido in Japan is a sight to behold in winters. It gets covered in a heavy blanket of snow. Despite heavy snowfall, ANA or All Nippon Airways makes sure that flights are not delayed. Tourism is slowly reviving in Japan. Many tourists visit Hokkaido in winter. Popular Japanese YouTuber Kimono Mom has recently joined the winter Hokkaido tour. ANA organizes ANA Akindo Merchant to promote inbound tourism and accelerate Japanese economy. After a 1-hour car drive, the Kiroro Resort welcomes many skiers from Asia, Pacific, USA and Europe for a grand skiing experience. Kimono Mom and her family enjoyed playing in the snow. Another beautiful tourist destination in Japan is Otaru City. It has a historical canal that was constructed 100 years ago. Around the canal, there is an old factory warehouse building. At night, these gas lights produce a beautiful illusion. Fresh sushi dinner is the enjoyment of Otaru night. Even sushi chef is trying to promote charm of winter, Otaru's fresh sushi, preparing attractive business card. Otaru City keeps grass craftsmanship. It is preserved from oil rum grass facility to improve to sightseers' experimental art. Yoichi Distillery was established as fruit juice factory 90 years ago. It keeps old historic building. Sapporo Snow Festival is the symbolic event of Hokkaido during the winter season. All Nippon Airways is playing a vital role in providing the best of its services to tourists coming to Japan. Setsuban in Japanese means change of season from winter to spring, and to mark the occasion, an event named Setsuban was recently held at Zojo Temple in Tokyo. Participants shouted, "Ogre is going outside and happiness comes to us." They throw roasted soybeans. Its performance is believed to exterminate ogre. At Zojo Temple, kindergartens are invited to the event every year. Children have a good time throwing beans to ogre. The bean throwers are people born in same year as this year's Chinese zodiac, public entertainer and sumo wrestlers. In addition, they throw snacks, rice cakes and lucky lotteries at the event. Many people gather to pick it up. The traditional Japanese event Setsuban is all about wishing for people and happiness in the lives of people.
Moving on. Inflation is a big problem in illegally occupied region of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. People in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir region are battling difficulties like unemployment and others. With the money they receive from their low-paying employment, they struggle to cover even their basic needs. In addition, a rise in LPG prices is adding salt to their wounds.
Pakistan has been systematically brutal in depriving the residents of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir their rights. The policies Islamabad frames are never aimed at profiting the people of the occupied region. No wonder they have to fight for every single ounce of rights they deserve. In order to present itself as a welfare state, the government announces popular schemes for the residents, but they never translate to real action on ground. Black marketing, people say, is widespread in the region, and the government is not making any efforts to rein it. In fact, they accuse the government of hand in glove with the unscrupulous cabal of those who control the market.
सबसे बड़ी 2 नंबरी तो मैं कहूँगा पाकिस्तान के अंदर खुद हमारे इदारे मिल के करवा रहे हैं। अब हम आ जाते हैं सर उसके बाद अनब्रांडेड आइटम्स के ऊपर। दूध की आपने बात की है, गैस की बात की, बाकी चीज़ें हैं। मैं मुजफ्फराबाद के हवाले से, कश्मीर के हवाले से बात करूँगा कि यहाँ पे प्रोडक्शन हमारी कोई भी नहीं होती। अब दूध पे हम आते हैं या सब्जियों पे आते हैं, मैं ये अपनी हुकूमत से पूछूंगा कि आपने यहाँ पे बड़े बड़े अदारे खोल के रखे हैं, आपने ज़राअत के अदारे खोल के रखे हैं, वहाँ पे टमाटर का डायरेक्टर अलग है, आलू का टमाटर अलग है, जैतून का डायरेक्टर अलग है। आप मुझे बात बताएं, खाली आपने सब्जियों के डायरेक्टर ही बना के रखे हैं, कभी आपने इन अदारों से पूछा? आपने डेयरी फार्म यहाँ पे इतना बड़ा, आपने लाइव स्टॉक का एक डिपार्टमेंट खोल के रखा है, कभी आपने उनसे पूछा कि आपने रिज़ल्ट क्या दिया? आपने कभी भी अपने अदारों को मजबूत करने की कोशिश ही नहीं की। आपने कभी भी अपने फार्मर को, अपने डेयरी फार्मर को मजबूत करने की कोशिश ही नहीं की।
Another issue is inflation, which has made life a living hell for people who are already struggling under a state of extreme poverty. The skyrocketing prices of LPG cylinders have severely hit their domestic budgets. The price rise of LPG will force the poor section of society to cut trees for wood, which will lead to deforestation and steal electricity. Authorities pay no attention to the problem as illegal smuggling tactics continue to grow in the area.
अगर हम इन दिनों जो इशू बना हुआ है गैस का, तो मैं बरमला ये बात करूँगा कि हमारे सिस्टम की कमज़ोरी है। मैं ये कहूँगा कि जहाँ पे ताजर किसी जगह पे गलत चीज़ यूज़ कर रहा है या गलत एंड पे जा रहा है, तो वहाँ पे इंतज़ामी अमूर में भी कई जगह पे जो है वो कमज़ोरी देखी गई है और हमने वो साबित भी की है। अब जो इन दिनों गैस का इशू है सर, तो मैं हमेशा ये बात कहूँगा कि हमारे तमाम बिज़नेस को लीगलाइज़ होना चाहिए। जो बिज़नेस लीगलाइज़ होगा उसके ऊपर ग्रिप भी होगी, जो बिज़नेस लीगलाइज़ नहीं होगा उसके अंदर प्रॉब्लम है। और पूरे पाकिस्तान के अंदर देखें, गैस जो है उसको ऑलरेडी ओगरा जो है वो देख रही है। जो पूरे पाकिस्तान के अंदर जब ऑयल या गैस जो है वो पाकिस्तान के अंदर आता है और उसका तमाम उसका रेट करना, उसको आगे तकसीम करना, ये ओगरा का एक ज़िम्मेदारी है, ओगरा एक ज़िम्मेदार इदारा है। लेकिन माज़रत साहब मैं ये कहूँगा कि इन दिनों गैस की जो हमारी शार्टेज हुई है उसमें ये चीज़ भी साबित हो गई है, ऑफिशियली ये चीज़ साबित होगी और ओगरा ने ये चीज़ एक्सेप्ट की है कि जो रेट हमने जारी किया हुआ 2411 रुपये, कंपनीज जो है उस रेट पर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को वो गैस नहीं दे रहे।
People of this region have been under Pakistani occupation since 1947. However, the fact is that they have been relegated to the status of second-class socio-economic citizens.
Radio has always been an important source of communication. However, with advancements in technology, less people listen to radio nowadays. Taking a walk down the memory lane, the 9th edition of the International Radio Fair was recently held in Bhubaneswar city of Odisha, which was attended by people of all ages. Have a look.
The first electronic mode of communication and entertainment is radio. The development in technology and the invention of internet and mobile phones has made radios a device from the past. Celebrating the essence of this yesteryear favorite along with educating youngsters about radios, the 9th edition of the International Radio Fair was recently organized in Bhubaneswar city of Odisha.
इस एग्जीबिशन के बारे में मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि ये बहुत ही मुझे यूनिक लग रहा है, क्योंकि यहाँ अलग राज्य से भी सामुदायिक गोष्ठी केंद्र के लोग आए हुए हैं और रेडियो के लिए लोगों की इस तरह से एकजुटता देखकर बहुत प्रसन्नता हो रही है, बहुत खुशी हो रही है, क्योंकि मैंने कभी नहीं देखा कि जैसे रेडियो डे पे हम छोटे से इवेंट कर लेते हैं, 10-20 लोग एकजुट हो जाते हैं, लेकिन इतना बड़ा आयोजन रेडियो दिवस पर, तो लगता है कि आज भी लोगों के मन में रेडियो के प्रति प्रेम बरकरार है। यही तो इसकी खासियत आप समझिए कि अच्छाई है कि देखिए कि हम मानते हैं कि आज की युवा जहाँ की इंटरनेट से जुड़े रहते हैं और रेडियो के प्रति एक धारणा है कि उनका बहुत ज़्यादा लगाव नहीं है, लेकिन यहाँ बुज़ुर्गों के साथ युवाओं को देखकर लगता है कि नहीं, वो रेडियो प्रेम अभी है और युवा भी रेडियो के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं।
Organized on the occasion of the World Radio Day, the fair was a display of antique radio sets which had set a retro ambience. Bringing back the golden days of radio, antique radio sets, transistors, gramophones, walkie-talkies and vinyl records were present at various stalls. Many people, including the elderly and the youth, attended the fair and were seen keenly indulging in the proceedings and listening to the melodious notes from the golden years.
बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है, इतना अच्छा माहौल है, सारा विश्व इस दिन को सेलिब्रेट कर रहा है। और हम जब बचपन का याद आ जाती है मुझे कि हम जब छोटे थे तो रेडियो सुन कर बड़े हैं, रेडियो से अच्छे गाने सुने हैं, अच्छे बातें सुने हैं, सीखे हैं। तो हमारे लिए तो कुछ ऑप्शन ही नहीं था जब बचपन थे, तो वही सुनकर हम बड़े हुए हैं। उसी हमें लगता है जितनी भी अच्छी बात हम सुने हैं वो अपनी लाइफ में हम जो आगे बढ़ रहे हैं ना, उस सब सुनकर ही हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। तो ऑल क्रेडिट हम रेडियो को देना चाहेंगे। और जो रेडियो में जो एंकरिंग करते थे, जो उस समय जो न्यूज़ पढ़ते थे या जो भी नाटक वगैरह कुछ भी प्ले करते थे, उनकी जो आवाज़, वॉइस जो थी वो इतनी खूबसूरत थी कि हमारे दिल तक पहुंच जाती थी। हमने उनको देखा भी नहीं कि उनका चेहरा कैसा होगा, क्या मतलब पता ही नहीं और कैसे होंगे, लेकिन उनकी जो आवाज़ से हम दिल से दिल तक जो रिश्ता उनका हमारा रहा है और वो इतनी अच्छी रहा है कि हम अपनी लाइफ में उसको आगे ले जा रहे हैं। तो इससे बड़ी बात क्या हो सकती है भैया, आप बोलिए।
Apart from antique radio sets, new broadcasting equipment were also displayed on a number of stalls. Radio repair shops, new radio sets for sale, and handmade radio shops were also set up at the fair. This radio get-together swamped the visitors with nostalgia, who were ecstatic at getting a glimpse of these age-old radio sets. The fair also featured a radio jockey from Jammu and Kashmir who was excited to attend the event.
हमें यहाँ पार्टिसिपेट करने का हम तो ये सोच रहे हैं कि हमारे लिए एक गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी थी कि जम्मू कश्मीर से यानी 2700 किलोमीटर दूर आकर उड़ीसा के अंदर 90H इंटरनेशनल रेडियो फेस्टिवल में हमने जो है यहाँ पार्टिसिपेट किया और साथ ही हमने यहाँ के कल्चर को देखा और अपने कल्चर को भी यहाँ प्रमोट किया और यहाँ उड़ीसा के लोगों से बहुत ज़्यादा हमें जो है प्यार मिला। हम तो चाहते हैं कि हमें बार बार ऐसा मौका मिले और हम ताकि अपने रेडियो को भी यहाँ प्रेजेंट करें, साथ ही जो जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर जितने भी कम्युनिटी बेस्ड रेडियो या कमर्शियल रेडियो है उनको भी जो है यहाँ आने का मौका मिले और ये एक अच्छा मैसेज जाएगा कि ये हमारा जो पहला जम्मू कश्मीर से रेडियो आया और उसने यहाँ आकर पार्टिसिपेट किया।
Though FM radios are still common among youngsters, physical radio sets have become a thing of past now. In order to raise awareness regarding the importance of radio as a medium, World Radio Day is observed all around the world on the 13th of February. It was proclaimed by the members of United States Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization in 2011. Later in 2012, the United Nations General Assembly declared it to be an international day.
It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We will be back next week at the same time. This is Uzma Jafri signing off on behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.